Hello, Dominican, and congratulations to all of our graduating seniors and graduate students completing your degrees. We are all very much aware that today would have been your commencement, and we are so sorry to be missing that opportunity for a grand celebration of your achievement. But know that you are in our hearts, and we look forward to the day we are reunited. As I was reading the gospel for today, I thought that perhaps the disciples pictured in this story are not so different than where we find ourselves today. Like us, they were saying goodbye to their beloved teacher, and they were a bit anxious, perhaps afraid, and a little confused about what future awaited them. And into this confusion and anxiety, the disciple Thomas asked a question of Jesus. Where are you going? And how will we know the way? In a typical fashion, as he does throughout the rest of the Gospels, Jesus responds to Thomas's question in a rather enigmatic way. He tells Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the way. I wonder what the disciples must have thought when they heard this response of Jesus. My own reaction in a time when I feel like I'm carrying a lot of anxiety myself was sort of a questioning one, wondering, really, Jesus, I am the way? Can't you be a little more specific? Can't you give us a little more direction? I am the way? That sounds almost like figure it out. So I turned then to the first reading, the depiction of the Acts of the Apostles. The first group of people after Jesus' death and resurrection who really had to figure out what I am the way might mean after Jesus was no longer living in the midst of them. And what did they do? The story depicted there is one where the Hellenists in the group were complaining to the Hebrews about having been excluded from the table sharing, having been left hungry by their brothers and sisters in Christ. Perhaps this is the first example of discrimination and exclusion creeping up into the Christian community. I am the way. What is Jesus' way in this situation? What the community did was reorganize itself in order to be sure that every member was taken care of, that every need was answered, that no one was left hungry, especially not because of their ethnicity or difference from other members of the group. They reorganized, they called on 7 of their brothers to take on the responsibility of making sure that everyone was fed, and the 7 answered the call. This is the way. This is Jesus' way. The way of justice, the way of compassion, the way of service, the way of kindness. The psalmist in today's readings puts it a little more directly. The Lord loves justice and right. Of the kindness of the Lord, the earth is full. Service, justice, kindness. This is Jesus' way. In a time of our own fear and anxiety, I think we're learning the same lesson the apostles did. The way forward through the unknown is the way of justice and service and kindness. This is the way that we are on, the path that leads us through this valley of darkness and death to the other side, to life, to abundant life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. This is what Jesus told the apostles, his friends, whom he was separated from. And this is what we ourselves are discovering that we know deep inside of ourselves. The way is a way of justice, service, and kindness. So congratulations, students, you made it. Now be the stars that we know you are. Shine brightly. You know the way.